as well as we jump into game number 1. Oh, game. Okay, there we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Eery versus ReverseGrip. This is the first round of the $125,000 EGC Golden League. And we will have with me Beasty introducing the players over here. Right side is going to be Abyssits for Eery in blue. And we will have on the left side ReverseGrip playing as the Rus in red. Talk us through this matchup over here real quickly, especially given how the map looks like for us.
Okay, so the one thing that I noticed instantly is ReverseGrip went and built his buildings on the far wood line. I'm not sure why. Maybe he saw it wrong. Maybe he thought it's the same distance, but as you can see, the closer wood line is quite a bit closer. He went and made the hunting cabin. No lumber mill yet. Regarding the map, I mean, the relics seem pretty fine. I don't think any player has a huge advantage. Both players have like 2 relics closer to them, and then one is like all the way in the corner. But nothing looks out of the ordinary, I would say. It all looks nice, dandy. Plenty of food for both. Some safe food, some open food. So now looking pretty normal.
Indeed, as you pointed out, we do have a faraway wood line here for ReverseGrip, which is, as we said, a little surprising given the fact that the wood line here right next to his TC was readily available. Looking at him, he is operating with 2 scouts for the time being. Not so successful finding sheep though, he only has 1 underneath the town center. Actually, there might be a couple more hiding in that town center, but he doesn't have a ton of sheep to work with. He's just now going for the hunt. Currently at 120 bounty. Whereas on the other side, it looks like Eery is only playing with 1 scout himself, which means... yeah, go ahead.
Ooh. He's gonna run out of food, 100%. I am calling it right now. I think there's 1, maybe 2 sheep under TC, but as someone who does this sometimes myself, it's very important you get one of your first scouts going back to your TC with sheep as soon as you can. Otherwise, if you run out of food, it's a very, very bad situation. And this only happens with Rus, by the way. And the reason for that is all your workers are on the food. So you're actually getting your food completely drained, and you need to make sure you have constant income of sheep coming back to TC. And we see some other villagers chilling there as well. And he's aging up with the Golden Gate.
Indeed, looks like he's going to get the sheep back just in time. On the other side, we do have the economy wing coming in for Eery. He's got a very exposed gold mine over here. Berries are not so spectacular either, but his wood lines are all the way at the back. He has to open with the straggler trees, of course, because he went for the mill, the mining camp, the House of Wisdom, and the house. So he doesn't have the wood right now for a lumber camp just yet. Looks like, as you said, it is going to be the Golden Gate for ReverseGrip. He was able to get to 210 bounty, so with that wolf coming in and a couple of sheep, he should be able to get to level 2 without problems.
Yeah, should be all good. He still has a lot of the map that's not explored, so maybe he'll find something. And actually on the, just north from Eery's base, wait, he didn't deny a single deer pack. They're both still alive. So that's a bit of a problem. Does he have only 1 scout? Oh, Eery has only 1 scout.
Yeah, he has 1 scout only. He's very successful finding sheep, but that's it.
But the Rus player is about to get all 4 deer camps, and that's a lot. You know, sometimes, I don't know if he actually forgot that his opponent is Rus. I've had this happen to me on ladder and in practice where I play against someone and they're like, oh, I didn't know you're Rus, and then they didn't deny any of the animals. Which also happened to me, you know, I would be going around and I'm like, man, why is this guy killing the deer? And then I open to see what civ he is and I see Rus and I'm like, oh, oops. So, you know, that does happen. Or maybe this is his, you know, strategy. Maybe he's fine with letting the Rus get all the stuff. Who knows? He did get a faster feudal because of it, right? Because if you don't make a scout, you get another villager, which is quite a bit more income in the long run. So, yeah. And now we see ReverseGrip putting 12 workers on the wood line, which suggests that he will either go for second TC and buying stone, or he's just going to make a couple of military buildings and go for some kind of attack.
As you pointed out, ReverseGrip was able to pick up all the bounty from the map. He's at 400, which is spectacular. And of course, the more bounty you were able to pick up, the easier it is going to be for you to reach Castle Age as well. As you said, it's a possibility for him to buy stone using the Golden Gate, but it's also a possibility for him to just buy himself up to Castle Age. So far, his resource bank isn't looking spectacular, and he's not buying any stone either for himself. He's going for professional scouts on that hunting cabin. He's got quite a lot of scouts roaming the map, so he can definitely go for that. Whereas on the other side, Eery is mining stone like there is no tomorrow. He really wants that second town center going as soon as possible.
Yeah, we do see a couple of villagers are AFK near the sheep on reverse grips TC because I think there's only one carcass there and there's not enough space, so villagers are kind of struggling to get a good grip on the sheep. No pun intended, of course. But yeah, he's now going for a hunting cabin on the berries, and he will try to get some of that food because even though he had 3 scouts, I guess not so much, not so lucky with getting the sheep back home.
Exactly. He was focusing so much on the hunt, and professional scouts just now finished, so he's yet to start ferrying in the carcasses, so he had to go for the hunting cabin, which of course is a painful thing, because the hunting cabin itself is quite expensive compared to a mill.
Yeah, and he's got 300 wood right now, and the wooden fortress for that extra wood income, but he's currently not making anything. So if he were to be aggressive, he kind of needs to throw down the stuff now and go, because Abbasid is getting their second TC, and there's no pressure being put on the Abbasid. So right now, the Abbasid player, Eery, is just chilling, getting second TC on the berries as well. Very nice spawn for him there. It's TC between gold and the berries, so that's like providing super good amount of protection there. And we do see archer range and stable coming up, but because Eery is like already well established with the second TC, this might be a little bit too late.
I agree with that. As you said, second town center up, very good defensive position over here, protecting the berries. And having a second berry patch available here is a massive boost to Eery's food income as well. And of course, it protects the entire back area here. So it's going to be very difficult for ReverseGrip to counterattack this. And it looks like we're going to have double stable play from Eery. He probably has scouted the enemy building those production buildings. His scout was roaming close to the base of ReverseGrip. So I'm fairly certain that he may have spotted that archer range or stable coming up, so he knows that there is going to be some aggression coming his way. He's going to have to respond in kind, and he's going for double stable horsemen.
Yeah, you can see him scouting around. He's trying to see what's going on, and he will definitely get the scout now if he didn't get it before. And yeah, he's going double stable behind this, which is super, super good with Abbasid. You have so much food with those berries and those extra sheep that what's going to happen is because we see now double archer range coming and knights, the double stable horseman will be able to just simply overwhelm that if he gets good enough numbers. And because he's scouting right, there's a scout in front of ReverseGrip's base. He sees the archers, so he's not like confused, like, oh, maybe I should go castle or something. Like, he knows what's coming. He knows he needs to prepare. And the worst thing you can do as Abbasid right now is like be greedy and try to go castle, simply because there's no need. You know, you have the tools that you need to defend in feudal, so all he needs to do is stay in feudal and make sure he stays alive.
He's adding a barracks behind this one as well, so he will have some spearmen against the knights. No blacksmith for him just yet, but those horsemen will also allow him to potentially deny some hunts, and indeed, he's going to push those scouts all the way back into the base of ReverseGrip. ReverseGrip will respond with the knights, so for now, Eery is going to call off his forces, but he's just waiting for reinforcements, so as you said, he's gonna have the chance to overrun his opponent with numbers.
Yeah, if I'm Eery, like, he's going for barracks, but he could actually just throw down 2 more stables if he wants to. Going pure horseman against this wouldn't be a bad idea. Or just an extra stable, maybe get some upgrades. He's deciding to go with the spearman, which I think he's, countering himself a little bit. There's 2 archery ranges, so by going spearman, you're actually allowing your opponent to have something to counter with those archers. But maybe he's worried about the number of the scouts together with the knights. At the end of the day, I think also going horseman spearman against this is not a bad idea. For Abbasid, it's all about getting the right amount of units up and, like I said, just kind of overwhelming your opponent, especially because you have that second TC and you just have more economy.
For now, Eery is looping around with the horseman. He's still searching for an angle to attack from. His opponent just has 2 knights on the battlefield. Most of his army is scouts or archers. That's not going to crack it against all those horsemen. And as you see, now the flood begins, because Eery, supported by those berries, he's going to have all that production as he's jumping on that wood line. Here come the horsemen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, doing some harassment. He's gonna get repelled pretty quickly, you know, but it's mining time lost, right? The villagers are gonna go back to TC, and that's definitely some eco damage done. And I think he's lost 1 horseman there, got some damage on the other ones. But you know, he's just poking around, and this is kind of the power of the Abbasid. Like, not only he has second TC, but he's also pressuring the opponent at the same time. So if you actually look at the minimap, you would think it's the other way around, right? You would think that the red player is going for second TC and is being pressured, but and here he's also going for a ram. So not only he's being aggressive, you know, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna just try to end the game right here.
Eery has gotten the range defense upgrade for his horsemen as well, and he's reaching that critical mass. We're talking about 12 horsemen as opposed to just having 2 knights, 9 archers. Now there is 1 spearman in the mix as well for ReverseGrip, but that's not going to help too much. And as you said, there is a battering ram coming up. A battering ram that ReverseGrip has no idea about. Here comes the cavalry from the left side once again. ReverseGrip is constantly stuck in that tower because he just can't leave it. As the cavalry once again swoops in, Eery, as he sees the knights coming in, he's going to disengage. As you said, he's just poking around. He really doesn't want to commit to this one just yet.
Yeah, one thing to notice, he ran out of food on the bears, and the workers were AFK a little bit. He does have some deer under TC, so he's going to be fine. He's not going to starve just yet. And we do see Ram coming in hot.
Just as well as the cavalry, and you got some spearmen bracing as well. Most of the army for ReverseGrip is just scouts here. He only has 2 spearmen, as the horsemen will find a way to the archers. Villagers are being pulled to pull back the battering ram, but the spearmen will just slay all the cavalry that ReverseGrip had, and then the horsemen will finish off the archers, no problem. The battering ram is still standing strong, and the army of ReverseGrip is just getting wiped out from the battlefield. Reinforcements are nowhere to be found, and you get the feel that now Eery should be able to close this game because he's flooding his units into the wood line of the enemy, burning down the buildings, and there is no response here from ReverseGrip.
Yeah, it just has too many units at this point. You know, we see the F2 going, but that's not going to cut it. GG gets called, and Eery takes game 1.
Convincing game number 1 victory here by Eery. He has shown the power of the Abbasids here to us. He really has shown that you can mix that very aggressive play in Feudal Age, just flood the units, the horsemen, the spearmen, and also mix that with the second Town Center build. Whereas for ReverseGrip, he obviously was, to a certain extent, set back by the fact that his food eco wasn't spectacular, but even having 400 bounty with Rus, he was able to get all the hunt across the map. He wasn't able to stop the Abbasids here, and now Eery moves on to match point because this is only a best of 3 set, so big win here for him. But now we're going to ReverseGrip's home map, which, well, obviously is a must win for him. Seeing what you have seen in this game, seeing that there is a slight difference in the skill between these 2 players, ReverseGrip being seed 60 as opposed to seed 21, what do you think would be the optimal choice of a home map for ReverseGrip going into game number 2?
Honestly, like, when there's a big skill difference, I think that you should try something super cheesy. Like, maybe not like Mongol Tower Rush, because that is something that Eery has probably seen many, many times. But try something weird, like try an Abbasid Tower Rush. Like, you want to surprise your opponent with something that they haven't seen, and I generally think that's probably your only chance of winning. Because the difference is, I think that Grip is under 1.2k elo, and Eery is like 1840, if I'm not mistaken. So that's something, 1830. So that's something that you cannot just, outpick with a Civ or with a normal strategy. I think you got to pull out something crazy in order to kind of win that one.
With that being said, we do have the civilizations for game number 2. I am unsure about the map, actually. We don't have any information on that yet. But the civilizations will be French versus Mongols. Mongols will be the pick of ReverseGrip. And for Eery, it is going to be the French. Do you think that this type of an approach, like this type of civilization matchup, is something that's in line with what you just said about what you think ReverseGrip has to do?
I mean, yeah, maybe he feels like if I'm him, I would probably still do a tower rush because I don't think that, playing a standard going into fast castle as Mongol with that big of a skill difference is going to work out. And I'm pretty sure Eery is also going to be, much more prepared for it. So that's something that is on to him to try. Maybe he's going to do some spearmen in Dark Age. Who knows? Regarding the map, I wonder what it is. This is a matchup that we've seen at M4C at King of the Hill a lot. So maybe it is King of the Hill. I'm trying to think what our map it could be, but just seeing the civs, I would think it's King of the Hill, but I have no info on that, so I guess we'll see. I do think that before, like a week ago, we all thought that Mongol counters French pretty hard, but like I said, the meta has shifted. Players learn how to play from French side, and I actually think French is pretty good matchup into Mongol. So we'll see what they both got in store.
Looks like the map is going to be Lipany, so ReverseGrip decided to go for what is still a rather open map. Is that a little surprising to you, or did you expect something like this?
I mean, it's hard to say because it's what he feels is the best map for him, right? He's down 1-0, so he kind of needs to pick something where he thinks he'll have the highest potential win rate. And, for him, that's Lipany. Picks Mongols on them. And I think Eery maybe picking like the safe pick, French is a civ that I don't think is like actually really good. I don't think it's really bad. I think it's just a well-rounded civ, and a lot of players pick French as I don't know what to pick. Let me just pick French. It doesn't auto lose to anything. It doesn't auto win. It's just kind of a good skill kind of test civ. So I think nothing wrong with that, and I do think that Grip is maybe gonna go for a little cheeky tower rush. I would suspect, um, but that's maybe my just my Mongol side talking, wanting to see a tower rush. We'll see.
Wait a second. Did you just say wanting to see a tower rush? Do you actually
Yeah,
want to see tower rushes with Mongols?
yeah, because they're actually not good right now. The tower rushes, I feel like everyone knows how to defend them. So seeing them, like before, a month ago, you're like, oh, tower rush again. But now, because nobody's really doing tower rushes anymore, it's like, yeah, I want to see that. I miss it. So it's all about supply and demand. The less tower rushes you see, the more I want to see them. The more tower rushes there are, I don't want that in the game. That's kind of how it works for me.
Well, I have to say it works differently for me. I think I've seen enough Mongol tower rushes for life, so well, I'm very glad that it works on a supply-demand basis for you, and you're happy to see tower rushes when you don't have them very often.
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's a win-win situation, right? Because you either see one guy dying to tower rush, and then there's like the arrow emplacement towers, whatever they're called, just killing villagers, struggling to get wood, running around. Or on the other side, you just see tower rush stopped, and you just kind of are like, yeah, there you. That's what you get for tower rushing. So it's just a win-win situation. There are no losers except
The
well,
viewers.
except one of the players. Well, no, except one of the players. The viewers always win regarding that.
Alright, with that being said, we have just 10 seconds left to go. With the spectator countdown, we're jumping into game number 2. Beasty's hoping for tower rush, I'm not, but I get the
Guys, if you
feel
want to
that
see tower, come on. If you want to see tower rush in the chat, please speak up. We need more towers in this game. They've been away for far too long.
speak of the devil. Anyways, jumping into game number 2, we're going to have on the left side Eery playing as the French in blue, and on the right side we'll have ReverseGrip starting his town center right next to the stone mine and the wood line. Very nice start for him. Is that the best combination of resources that you can place it to? So we have seen players dropping it right next to wood and gold or wood and stone. Do you think wood and stone is better than wood and gold?
No, wood and gold is definitely the best one that you can possibly have. I actually played a ladder game yesterday on Hill and Dale, okay? And I had the best spawn I have ever seen. This never happened to me, never seen it before. It was Hill and Dale, and I had woodline, the rich gold, and stone next to each other. So it was like the best spawn ever because my production was safe. I had pastures on the Uvu. I had gold right there. It was a rich gold, and I was like, it does not get any better for this from this. It was the only thing that could have happened is there were like deer right next to it as well, but maybe next time. I do think that there's benefits to both, by the way, regarding a spawn like this. Having Uvu next to your TC gives you nice pasture. Oh, and there's a tower rush coming! Yes! So anyway, Uvu provides you with like pastures and production being safe. But I do think gold is better because it makes you, or it allows you to skip the GUR, so you don't have to build that in order to collect gold, and it's going to allow you to get faster feudal age. At least that's my preference, but there's benefits to both. I think as Mongols, you kind of have to make the best out of your situation with what you have. And I think this spawn that he has is really good. Like, his gold is very close to his TC as well. So, it's pretty nice.
Now, looking at the scouting of ReverseGrip, first of all, I think you're the happiest person live on this planet right now to see a tower rush from Mongols, but one thing to note is that ReverseGrip doesn't have a great line of sight right now,
Oh,
so...
he has no sheep. ReverseGrip brought out a sheep.
he has it.
I'm sorry, not ReverseGrip, Eery. Sorry, Eery.
Oh yeah.
Look at his TC. There's one sheep and there's idle workers just chilling.
Feels bad, man. He's only operating... Actually, he's operating with 2 scouts, but he was so unsuccessful finding it. That's a terrible start. Because, really, if you look at his scouting, he's got like 70% of the map scouted, but he was very unlucky. Looks like ReverseGrip picked up basically all the sheep, and that's going to cause problems. Luckily for him, his berries are at the back and he's playing French, so he can go for the discount mill as well. But that's obviously not going to help, especially when your gold mine is so open, and this is going to delay his feudal age. And as we have seen, at least in N4C, the best response to a tower rush is to go fast feudal into archers, and delaying your feudal age like that, not having food, is going to be a disaster because of that.
Oh no. What is this tower? Lidakor, take it away. What is this tower here?
If I want to be a very positive caster right now, the hype caster, okay, this is a great tower. It sets you up for further tower aggression. It's going to be a great staging ground. But if I want to be honest, I would be like, what the heck are you doing, man? This tower could be right next to that gold mine and your opponent could do absolutely nothing against that. That's why you have these dudes with the spears in their hands.
I would actually, in this situation, I would put the tower like just underneath School of Cavalry to kind of deny the woodline and the gold, and you can actually hit the sheep as well under TC. Like, that's
you can even hit the villagers, I mean...
Yeah, you can hit the villagers that are on the sheep. Okay,
or the landmark,
guys,
even.
He's taking a slow and methodical approach. So, we're gonna get to that woodline by the time Eery hits castle. The third tower is gonna be up. And yes, I did say castle. Okay, 2 more space. See, this is why tower rushes are great. See, this is what I live for. When Eery eventually decides to break out, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna kill this tower next to the gold. He's like, psych, there's another tower right behind it. So, sometimes, expecting the unexpected is the best thing you can do. And we see no gold yet mining from Grip. He's moving 1 villager now, so he's gonna, slowly transition there. Yeah, I mean, archer range coming up, and I did have a terrible win rate at the N4C tournament with Mongols, but I don't think this is going too well for the Mongol player.
No, it doesn't look very good, especially with only 1 villager on the front line, so not even 2 villagers building that tower to make it a little faster, or if you lose that 1 villager out there, you won't even have anyone building those towers. Now, looking at Eery's POV, he has no idea about that tower coming up until this very moment, so now he knows, and the first archer is getting ready. He's going to counter tower that with no less than 9 villagers on that tower. He's got the archer coming out. Can you keep that villager alive here? I don't think so, because there's the scout, there's the archer, and there's the tower coming up. This tower is not going up here. He's going to have to sacrifice the scout for that, but reverse grip is going to be repelled from that wood line, which means that Eery is basically super safe. He's got double golds at the back that he can use as a fallback option. And well, as you said, if you repel a tower rush successfully, you're going to feel very happy.
Yeah, and I can imagine he is pretty. He's gonna do another tower, and this tower is.
It's gonna get spotted. It's getting spotted. Knight just needs one charge. The villager goes down, and reverse grip still in Dark Age, by the way. So he's not even going up with the deer stones yet. He's got the spearman around, but that's basically it. That's not going to crack it against the archers. Khan is also nearby, but he doesn't have the buff arrow right now available, so he can't even use the speed arrow to charge in on those archers. Archer numbers steadily increasing for Eery. He's got sheep to work with. He's got the safe wood line. This is looking pretty difficult for the Mongol player because this tower aggression is dead.
Yeah, not looking good. Definitely not looking good. I mean, I still commend. I did say before the game, like, if you're playing against someone that's much higher rated than you gotta try like a tower rush or something. Like you are not winning a normal game, right? You're not gonna go macro and just win. By the way, look at those 2 golds in the north. That is a juicy one.
Yeah, that's a juicy one.
That's basically a rich gold right there. But yeah, I think he tried what he thought would give him the best chance, and maybe I don't agree with the tower placements, but I do agree with the tower choice. Or tower strategy choice to try and maybe surprise his opponent and win that way. Sadly, did not work out. The deer storms are coming up, and he's stacking up with quite a lot of villagers. And I'm assuming Eery, because based on the previous game where he was super aggressive and he managed to finish the game, I would imagine he's also gonna just continue making units and maybe just try to go and end the game.
He's got the knights, and being able to raid with those knights left and right in the opponent's eco is definitely going to be an option. Feudal Age is in for reverse grip, but no Feudal Age units coming out just yet. His towers are being burnt down right now. And now the counterattack is open for Eery. As you said, he's got a very nice gold mine at the back of his base, and he's playing this one very safe. He's even dropping an outpost over there, just to make sure that there is no chance for the opponent to raid that position.
Yeah, just playing it safe. I mean, when you get ahead, the last thing, and this is like a good advice for like anyone, whether you're playing at a plastic league, as I like to call it, or medium or high level. Like whenever you defend some kind of cheese, especially if it's like a tower rush, making a tower at your goal just to make sure you're safe, you don't lose villagers, is always a good idea. Like, you are already ahead, so no need to risk putting yourself behind again just because you're maybe too little greedy for your resources. So we're all just playing it safe, solid, and he's gonna start putting some pressure on his opponent, and should definitely just go for I think gold is probably the best way to approach it. But we already see an outpost there, so he's gonna need rams if he wants to continue pushing here.
Double barracks and archer range working out here for reverse grip. He still has some stone to operate with, so he can use double trading for an extended amount of time. And he's got the archer numbers to potentially repel this one. He's gotta be careful with that Khan though. Looks like the Khan is getting away. Attack speed arrow was popped by reverse grip. Upon seeing that Eery is going to call off his own archers, he picks off a couple of spears, and that's going to make life easier for those knights charging in from the north. But right now, Eery doesn't seem to have the numbers to take this fight, although he's still trying to do it, focusing down the spears, and the cavalry is used as a perfect decoy to just lure out the spearmen. All the spearmen are out, they're picked off by the archers, and now, suddenly there is no spearmen on the battlefield. The knights can charge in on the archers, and looks like reverse grip is getting pushed back into his base, with no spearmen helping out against the cavalry anymore.
Yeah, and nice micro from Eery. Just picking off all the spears, playing it the way it's supposed to. Now he's gonna pick up the archers, and it's actually in a way it's difficult to kill a Mongol player in this situation because all their stuff is like under the TC, especially with the stone being there as well. So like I said, Eery's never mind, and there it is, GG. Just like that. I was gonna say, usually, like, can't kill a Mongol player, obviously, unless they give up. So you need like a ram to try and force the issue, but you know, reverse grip losing all his units realizes, you know what? Maybe just tap out of this one. And it was a good choice actually.
Indeed, and with that, Eery is going to close out the set 2-0. Very convincing game number 2 here as well for him. As you said, there was a skill difference between the two players. Reverse Grip had to try something, and it didn't really work out. Do you think it would have been a lot more effective to just, like, obviously it would have been a lot more effective to drop that tower next to that starting gold mine, but do you think the main reason why this didn't work for Reverse Grip was the location of the first tower?
Yes. I mean, there's no other way to go about it. There was there was a spot where it could have been placed that was actually super good. It would deny gold, wood, and it would like shoot at the villagers coming out of TC. But that's like a lot of people might think that, oh, but just because you're maybe not as high rated, you should know where to put your towers. But it's all part of the skill, right? As a lot of people will say Mongol tower rushing is easy, and I'm not going to say it's rocket science, but all these things come into play, from experience, like where to put the tower. If I put the tower here, where's my next tower going to be? You got to make sure it doesn't get denied, not lose the villager, because if any of those things happen, your game is probably going to be over. So yeah, hopefully he'll look at this game, maybe see me pointing that out. And next time he goes on the ladder, he just tower rushes people over and over, and he gets it perfected.